Hey baddies, welcome to another Auntie Amy's Trashy Tarot. Today I'm doing a pick a card all about what's your vibe. What vibe do you give off? This was requested by Yuffie Healed 6139, and I'm really excited to get into this one. So I hope I pronounced the screen name correctly. I will put it on the screen as well. So thank you for your request. If you have a request, drop it below. If it aligns with me and my guides, I will do it. I often put them on a list and I will run through that list as guided as well. So I have done a bit of a pre-shuffle here today. I will be pulling more cards as I need to for clarity. Now your psychic linking objects are of course these three cards here. Each one has its own vibe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a little video for those of you who need a bit more time to see which group you're drawn to. Now, if you're drawn to more than one group, there probably is more than one message here for you. And with that said, I'll see you beautiful, magical baddies on the other side. Bye, guys. Hey group one, all of you that selected the Powderpuff Girls. I feel like this is Buttercup, but it could be Blossom. It feels like there's a remnant of a bow here, but obviously there's been some additions to her. But very sassy energy here. We're going to find out what's your vibe. What vibe do you give off? But I feel like a sassy energy. She's drinking from a straw from a cup here. And I just feel like she's giving zero shits. Zero fucks are given kind of thing. So let's get into it and find out what's your vibe, what vibe you give off. Generally, that's what I'm getting pretty much like just kind of like in your vibe. Feels kind of Scorpio like. Some Pisces here. Feeling some Libra. You might be a Scorpio Libra cusp or have Scorpio Libra vibes. You might be born in October, November kind of vibe here. So let's get into it. We have Suck It Up Princess, Accept Your Karma. Okay, we have Shitting Rainbows kind of day, Release Guilt. I hear this like, I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad for you, bitch. We have Victim. We have Poet. Okay. We have Martyr. Okay. We have Rabbit Spirit. Now is a lucky time. We have Turtle Spirit, slow, slow and steady wins the race. You guys, my tongue is so heavy from my medication, but you know your auntie. Okay, we have Nagas, Lovers, Erotica, and Sensuality. I'm going to censor that just a little bit. I'm going to put that right here because there might be boobies on that one. Alchemy, the Philosopher's Stone, Infinity, Destiny, and Magic. Okay, that's a cool card. We have these cards here. We have Full Spectrum, and we have our Ancient Future. Very cool vibe you have. We have Bitch. And we have a unicorn. You're a unicorn bitch, y'all. So I think that you basically serve a lot of people this feeling of karma. I think you make people uncomfortable sometimes. Sometimes you may be a little brutal with your speech or your behavior. I feel like sometimes not sometimes, a lot of the time, you don't realize this. It's just your way, okay? With the Full Spectrum card, I feel like you're just on online, and I don't mean like online, but you're just like your chakras, I feel like they're all lit up here. Like you're all lit up. Like you're aligned. And we have a rainbow energy here, so you may have a little sorry, my tongue is so heavy, you guys. Just bear with me, okay? I haven't had this particular medication in a while. We have this energy of being like possibly LBGTQ plus energy here as well. If that's you, that's you. Okay. I think a lot of people feel intimidated by you. They feel like, well, we have the victim card here. And I feel something with the poet. I feel something about the speech, your throat chakra. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to touch the mic. I feel like your throat chakra is really open here. And notice that Powerpuff here is drinking, like she's drinking from a straw. I feel like your throat chakra is really open and you're very expressive about situations. And I feel like you don't filter yourself like other people do. And sometimes you come off as a bitch to people, but you're okay with that. Okay. Because you're really a unicorn. But this kind of rough exterior I'm getting, or this sassiness or this guardedness I'm getting from you, is because you do this to protect the unicorn. I'm getting like you have a unicorn heart, because in many ways you really are like a martyr for a cause. Like you can be martyred, and I don't mean this in the bad way. I mean this in like for friends, for different reasons. Let me straighten you up just a little bit. Okay. um, like when you let people in your world, you are down for them. Like you are a ride or die friend. Uh, and I feel like that's why you are so careful um, about who you let in your world. And I feel like the people who get your vibe, it's a very cool vibe. It's a very like, I don't want to use that term, but they're using the term like hip, like you have a hip, cool vibe. Like, I'm getting that Lana Del Rey song, West Coast, that West Coast song, that kind of vibe. I'm getting like just a really cool person that can be a little detached when engaged, truly gives our authentic opinion, even if it can be a little offensive or a little brutal. I don't think you do it with a mean intention. I think you've been lied to and betrayed so much that you feel like it's an act of compassion to be truthful. And it is. You know, I just think your delivery can be a little Venus and Scorpio, meaning it can be a little difficult for people to take. Scorpio in Venus is Venus in detriment. It's not her most happiest place. And I feel like sometimes people walk away from you and kind of feel a little victimized or a little bit like put upon. Some people have an impression of you that you're like a bitch or you're too rough around the edges. But the truth is that that keeps the bad people away, doesn't it? Okay, let's get some more of your vibe. What vibe do you give off? I'm hearing candy coated shell. People see this rough exterior, but they don't realize that the shell is really candy. Like you're actually a very sweet person. But you've had to learn to kind of like, you know, be tough because this unicorn needs to be protected. Okay. Give me some more energy here. All right. We have ugly cry. Just go ahead and post it to social media for ultimate vulnerability. Yeah, I feel like you don't really allow people to see this vulnerability unless they're like really close to you. And even then, it's difficult. Vulnerability is difficult for you. But you have this like ability to spot vulnerability in other people. Um, and I feel like some of you know how to weaponize it. Like you know how to use it to your advantage. And I got to tell you, like in business and things like that, in competition, you know, that can be very powerful. I feel like some of you guys just don't use it that way. You've chosen to not, or you're going through the process about learning how to use that knowledge wisely. Um, I just feel like you're tender-hearted to like the nth degree, and you're aware of it, and because of that you get heartbroken very easily. We have this Naga's energy here that I can't show you the card, but it's lovers, erotica, and sensuality. And what I'm getting with that is like you love intensely. There is a lot of Scorpio here. There's a lot of Pluto energy. There's a lot of water here, a lot of Pisces, some Cancer, but heavy on like fire water energy here. There's just like a depth of emotion here that you have learned trials by fire, um, to protect. And it's like, I'm not going to let just everyone see me ugly cry. Like, I'm not emotionally available for everyone. Um, and I feel like the times where it feels like you have had issues in the past with making the wrong decisions about who to be vulnerable to. And because of that, you're very careful about who you open up to, who you allow yourself to be vulnerable with. And people sense this, and it comes off sometimes as you're a bitch, right? And I got to tell you, there's nothing wrong with people thinking you're a bitch, okay? Or thinking that you're hard to know, because in a lot of ways it keeps the wrong people away from you. It keeps the people who want to fuck you over away from you. However, it can also keep more timid people away from you who really have good intentions. So always keep that in mind, okay? It may be time for a little bit of balancing. It may be time to start opening up some of these boundaries, some of these gates you have locked up. Now, I'm not saying that it's time to like completely remove your armor, but it might be time to let people know that hard exterior shell, it's really candy. It's like that chocolate coating they put on ice cream that's hard, and when you hit it lightly, it just cracks because it's sweet. You're a very sweet person, and you're worth knowing, okay? And I know that you've had some bad experiences, but I think it's really important that you understand that life is about growth, and not everyone is like what you've been through. Like, people are different. Not everyone is going to use you, abuse you, and betray you, okay? We have education. Farts travel an average of 7 miles per hour. Read a book, you mushy-brained jabroni. Okay, so I think you're very smart. You may enjoy reading, or you may have a hobby that you're really into. You may be highly educated. I feel an intellectual here. I feel like you love learning. And part of what may also be this distance you have with people is that, generally speaking, you may enjoy being alone more. You may enjoy quiet time. You may enjoy escaping into games or reading. You may be a writer. I just feel air energy here, like Gemini, Libra, Aquarius now. Someone who is very mentally creative, someone who is engaged in their mental space heavily. And, I feel like some of you guys may have a kind of personality that requires, like, to decompress, you kind of have to pull back from people. You may be empathic as well. We have travel. Do they have cheeseburgers in Thailand? I don't know who needs to hear this, but you need culture. And I feel this educated, sophisticated energy kind of bubbling up now. This is the unicorn energy. I feel like you love to learn. I feel like you may not consider yourself cultured and intellectual, but I feel like there's an aspect of you that's very sophisticated. And when you put this with the bitch energy, and we have poet here, you can come off to some people as, I'm just going to tell you, Auntie's going to tell you, a little snobby, a little aloof, a little removed, okay? And listen, that can be energy that's being misread by people. And I feel like this may be people who want to get to know you, who are timid. And it can also be, if you're very attractive and you have this energy, they can read it as you think you're too good. And I don't think you feel that way. I don't think you feel like you're too good. I think a lot of this is personal protection, Okay. But you're also very smart. I feel like you can talk and speak on a lot of different subjects. I feel like you have a lot of different interests. You're an interesting fucking person. You're a unicorn that has a guardian energy of being a bitch. Okay. Um, and I feel like you're very dependable. You're a very dependable person, and people want to know more about you. They're very curious about this energy. You have this vibe where people want to know more about you because I'm hitting on this deeper energy here, this deeper unicorn energy. The unicorn is mystical. You have a very mystical vibe. People want to know more about this mystical energy. So tell me about the mystical energy of my group one, this ancient future, this ancient unicorn energy that's deeply connected and protected. I feel like, I think it feels like people feel like they have known you before. All these cards want to come out, so I'm going to take them. Sometimes they come out in a clump and we just, we're going to go with it. There's quite a few. It's going to take the first three here. We have Temperance, the sea nymph. We have Justice, Valkyrie, and we have the King of Wands, Anubis. Yeah, I just feel this energy of like the divine, your guides, your spirits really walking with you, really helping you filter out people that aren't for you. And I feel like this connection to your divine is part of your justice. It's part of balancing your life. You may be going through a time in your life where you're learning how to balance your life by discernment, by being able to see who is for you, who is not. And these high walls that you've placed up, this kind of guarded energy is being adjusted, okay? Because with the King of Wands here, I'm feeling an Anubis, I'm feeling like you have a very bright light that you've hidden away kind of like in the underworld. You kind of keep it under wraps. It's almost like people have to venture through these kind of gates of the underworld to kind of get to this light you hold. And it's not because you're difficult, although some people may actually think you are difficult, because you're difficult to know. This is what I'm getting. And, just take this as an example. It's like somebody new moves into a neighborhood. And it's the kind of neighborhood where people talk to each other. People hang out on the corners and their kids play together. And you're the kind that hangs out in your house and draws the curtains and don't talk to anybody. And people start coming to your house and they're bringing you cookies and cakes, and you just won't come out of your house, kind of thing. And you find that they keep coming to your house because they want to know more and they want to know more. And it's like this energy starts to kind of drag you out into the light. And people see that behind the closed doors, behind this gate that you put up, when they start to really see you, they see the light. They are drawn to want to open your doors and see what's going on in your house because the mystery of the gate and the darkness that you put around you to protect yourself, because you are not like other people. That's the bottom line here. You are different. You are a unicorn bitch. You are a bitch unicorn. You are special. You are unique. You are connected. Some of you guys have a heavy vibe with the underworld here. You may have an underworld vibe. You are deeply connected to spirit. You are deeply connected to, for some of you guys, you're deeply connected to odd things, to strange things, to unusual things. Some of you guys have a very unusual vibe, so you protect it because it's different, it's special, it's unique. And listen, being unique in the world, being authentic, it's very difficult. And, I'm going back to that neighborhood vibe, and it's almost like I'm getting the whole Morticia Adams trying to fit into soccer moms, how that would work. How would you make that work? Well, you're not going to fit in, but you're going to be the spicy, fun kind of mystery that comes to the parties occasionally and they're going to talk about. And eventually you may find friendship and they may find friendship with you. But you have to discern which of the soccer moms aren't really soccer moms and are just going along with it for the peace. You know what I'm saying? You have to discern which soccer moms are really like you but they're in disguise, right? Because a lot of us in the past have had to play the games of society and haven't been able to really be who we really are. And I feel like you are protecting yourself. And some of you guys do wear masks. You wear masks, this group, you wear masks to kind of blend in. That's part of the distance to keep people away, right? And you do it to protect this very special unicorn who's deeply connected. And I feel like for some of you in those crowds of soccer moms, normal people, whatever, there are kindred spirits. Okay. You find people, you're wearing a mask, so am I. Yeah, I'm really I'm really this special unicorn, this kind of dark unicorn energy. Oh, really? So am I. So am I. And I have these sophisticated ideas and I have these interesting things. So do I. It's like you find soulmates within the collective of the ordinary. And it's very powerful. And it's part of your justice is you find very special people. And those are people you let into this unicorn energy. And they see this King of Wands. They see the glow, the light. And it's divinely guided. I feel like the universe, your guides divinely guide people to you. Okay, give me some more energy. We have the sun, the phoenix. Wow, that's powerful. Yeah. People feel very positively about you when they get to know you. Like they feel like all the hoops and things you may make people go through, all the waiting and the patience that people have to get to really know you, they feel like it's worth it once they get there. They're like, oh, this was absolutely worth the wait. This was absolutely worth getting into this person's inner circle. It was absolutely worth the patience it took, the Ace of Cups and the Two of Swords. I feel like you have a tendency to kind of like reflect on people's, like when you're going through a process of kind of like vetting somebody, because I feel like you vet people and you reflect on their interactions with you, whether you can trust them with this unicorn energy. I feel like when you feel really positively, it speeds up the process and you're quick to like offer the cup. When you feel the vibe, you know it. Some of you guys are psychic or empathic. You get feels for people and you bring them in. And 9 times out of 10, you're right. Every now and then you're wrong. And when you bring someone into your energy and they're not supposed to be there, it's immediate ejection. Like you can cut a bitch off like nobody's business, okay? Because the Phoenix knows how to burn away energies that do not work for them. And I do feel like when you burn energies away, they can be obsessive. They tend to get a little obsessive with you. You may have some stalking that goes on. They definitely feel victimized and like a martyr. Like you've used them sometimes. And the truth is that you weren't using them. You were seeing how down they were. You were trying to see their authentic energy, if they were really authentic. I feel like for you, that's really what all this is about, because you want to give people your authentic self, but you understand after so many bad situations that not everyone deserves this very special part of you. So it's like you vet people before you let people in. And you have this mysterious vibe. You're distant, but there's a sophistication to you. You can talk about many different vibes. You can talk about many different things. You may be drawn to group 2. I haven't done group 2 yet, but Spirit's just given that to me. And for some of you, you know, you're really attractive on top of this. Like you're hot. And so you're smart and you're hot and you're deep and you're hard to get to know. And it's a lot, but the people for you, they don't walk away. They kind of like stay, and you have these engagements with them and you kind of allow them to be vetted. And once they get close to you, they're like, this was so worth it. Like, I feel like I know this person. I feel like I've known this person. And a lot of times you bring in people close to you who you had intense past lives with. A lot of times when you bring people close into your circle, these are people with the intense past lives that are very loyal to you, and you are very loyal to them. You bring in people who are down. So when you make an error in your discernment and you bring in someone who was not, usually that past life connection was something intensely twisted, and it's brought forward for you to heal. And a lot of you are triggering that healing when you bring those people in. And it's a higher, we're getting to a higher level in this reading, like it's a higher self work that you're doing. Okay, because you guys have Phoenix energy. So you actively Phoenix yourself often. That's also why you can be hard to know, because you are doing work on a higher level here in this reality. Actively working your shadow, actively working to heal and grow. So amazing, beautiful energy for group one. That's what I received for you. I hope this was helpful. If it was, please let me know down in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I'd love to have you as a member of my tribe. If you'd like to see more Auntie Amy's Trashy Tarot, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you beautiful, magical baddies next time. Bye, guys. Hey, group two, all of you that selected art. This is going to be your reading all about what is your vibe, what is the vibe that you put off. Keep in mind, this is a general reading, so just take what resonates and leave the rest behind. I do have a bit of a pre-shuffle here. I will be pulling more cards as I need to for clarity. So, beautiful card, very interesting energy. So let's see what came out for you. Let's get into it. We have Cracked Crystal, time to heal yourself. Okay. We have Shit, Full Shadow Side, balance your good, bad, and ugly. Oh, we'll get this one in a minute. We have a Rescuer, light attributes, provide strength and support to others in crisis, acts out of love with no expectation of reward. We have Buffalo Spirit, the abundant universe will provide. Let's see, we have Feral and we have Podcast. That's a really cool energy there. That's really cool. Okay. We have Starseed Elemental. We have Mount Shasta. We have Gracious Receptivity. This is really beautiful energy. We have the Starseed, Self, Memories, Identity. We have Alpha Draconians, Corrupt, Unethical Cults. We have Ouroboros. Okay, I don't know if I said that right, y'all. We have Infinity, Eternal, Past Life. Okay. Really lovely, beautiful energy here. First of all, we have art. So I immediately, I don't think you need a psychic to tell you you're fucking creative. There's a lot of creative energy here. The starseed energy, starseed elemental, starseed energy here. The term starseed is controversial because of, where it came from. There is some racist connotations with starseed. So what I mean by starseed is not a kind of supremacist thing. What I mean by starseed is feeling otherworldly, feeling like you are outside the norm. And I mean this in a way where the world doesn't make sense to you. The way people are doesn't make sense. And you may express this through your art or your creativity. I'm feeling INFP kind of energies. I'm an INFP though. I feel like you have a very rich imagination. I feel like you have a creative mind. Some of you guys are very psychic. Some of you guys you may have a higher capacity to make DMT. There's something here about your third eye is very active. Your crown chakra is very aligned to your third eye. I'm feeling like your heart, I feel like this reading is expanding into like a higher level, like a higher dimension, because I'm seeing your heart chakra like as a temple. And it feels very 5D. So I feel like you are a multi-dimensional being that on some level, and this may be while you're sleeping, you are interacting in a way that's very 5D. And I feel like for some of you, your creativity is locked behind this awareness that you are coming into. Some of you guys have already come into this awareness, but this otherworldly feeling, this feeling like the world doesn't make fucking sense. Like as I connect to your energy, I feel like the world doesn't make sense to me. I do not understand why humans treat each other the way they do. I feel like humanity is stuck on the dumbass. Like, we are not expanding as a species. I hear that. Like, we are not expanding as a species. We're so stuck on our differences of thought. We're so, like, there is a definite energy here of like unity consciousness, of not understanding why we are so segmented by our differences. I feel like a lot of you are here, and the vibe you give off has to do with this creative ability, okay? Your creative ability is healing, okay? This rescuer, okay? So you are here, okay? You are here to help, okay? For some of you, it is you were born into a family that you are here to help, okay? Some of you guys, I'm sorry to tell you, I absolutely hate to tell people this because I feel like, it's such a heavy weight. But you probably already know, like you are here to break generational curses and bad patterns and burdens and oppressions in your family. Now, not everyone comes to do that, okay? Not all of you. But if you know, you know. And it's a very difficult journey. It's very solitary. Sometimes you have to go into hermit mode for a long time because a lot of times it requires the cutting of many cords. It requires time alone in your own toxicity and shadow. You rescue yourself, okay? Um, some of you guys are here to help the collective of humanity rise in consciousness by living your life on the highest level of that expression as possible. Okay? Some of you guys are here to be beacons of light, to just transmute energy and to channel energies into the world. Some of you guys are here to heal through Reiki and through other modalities, through music. And that's where we get into the creative, like more material type, if you will, creative peoples who are writers and artists and digital creators and who are digital artists and sculptors and comic creators, and I could go on, okay? All types of different people can be rescued through expressions of divinity, different forms of divinity that is expressed through art. And it is extremely powerful, okay? Many of you are here to do that. That is your work, okay? And how you choose to express it in your 3D expression is your life purpose, whatever, okay? I don't like that term, but that's what we have. That's what's coming to mind, but I don't like it. And I feel like people get a weird vibe from you, okay? And you know it. You know you give off a weird vibe. I feel like um, with this Mount Shasta is like a portal to other realms. Um, I feel like your vibe is very powerful. It's very different, and it's very creative, but you're also extremely helpful to people. I think you're also very grateful. And I want to tell you the frequency of gratitude will bring you great abundance. Okay, it will. Abundance of people, abundance of attention, abundance of resources, abundance of good energy. With the podcast card, I feel like you expressing whatever lights you up is very important. It will bring you balance. Okay. I also feel like people are attracted to that part of you because it feels like the most authentic tone, the most authentic vibration of your higher self in this reality. Okay. And this reality, as you know, is morphing, it's changing. This particular time strand is realigning constantly. It's constantly morphing right now. Of course, the destination, we know where it's going, but it's constantly being um, realigned. And we have this. And I feel like group 2, you probably understand why things are constantly being realigned at this moment. And they're being realigned and shifted. And that's why many of you probably can feel time slip. Okay. You can probably feel time move around. Sometimes it slips, sometimes it slides, sometimes it buckles, sometimes it loops. And you guys are probably aware of this. Okay. I feel like your vibe is one of wisdom. It's one of somebody who has been alive a long time. And I don't mean like had many lives, but a soul, a essence that has existed for a long time. Ancient element. Okay. And I feel like on some level you're connected to this ancient element. I encourage you to explore this idea of being connected to an ancient element, okay? A primordial figure, a birth of the universe kind of collective. I think it will help you expand your sense of self and also will help you expand your connection because it will expand your awareness and how you think of self. Because I feel like why your energy can be so weird to some people is because your energy is very expansive. And the normies, let's call them the normies either find it irritating because they really don't like it. They don't want to be expanded. They want you to fucking stop being so fucking different and just get on track. Punch the card in, get in your seat, and shut the fuck up. And that is not what you're going to do. Because I feel like you're a group that if you don't express, you can't function. You're going to get to a point where, like, if you don't do what you feel called to do, be it whatever it is, you just, you can't, you can't function. It's like why you're here. And it won't be something of anxiety. It will be something of passion, something you love to do. It'll be something that lights you up. It doesn't mean that every day will be just like rainbows and kittens and shit. But it does mean that it will light you up. It will inspire you. It will be something that you may need to take a break from, but you'll want to go back to doing it because it makes you happy. This is fulfillment here, okay? And many of you are walking that path. Your vibe is one of knowing your enemies. And what I'm getting is a very kind of creative, inspired energy, someone who is otherworldly and interesting, very helpful, very compassionate. Like you live the kind of vibe of a rescuer. Some of you guys may actually work in the field of rescuing people, like healthcare. You may be an EMT, you may be a cop, you may work in law in some way, you may be a counselor, you may be a really good friend, you may be a mom or a dad. You know, that's a big swap too. But rescuing people can take different forms. But there's a lot of healing energy here, right? Lots of healing. You guys are healers. And because of that, you know your enemy. You know how they move. And there's a wisdom there. Because you guys, and I don't like to use time to measure things, but here we are. You are an ancient soul. And you're not going to fit in. You're not like everyone else. I would explain this as someone who has a bigger chunk of their oversoul, okay? Just a larger piece, more aware, more connected. Just, it's almost like the cord of connection is just a bigger cable. I feel like with the Pharaoh card here, you're extremely protective of people you care about. And even just in general, I think you fight for the underdog. I think you're very brave. I think when you know something, you know, and you're 110% in. And I feel like a lot of this comes from the fact that you're a trusted friend. Like people tell you things. People tell you things they don't tell other people. Like you know things about people. So you may be in a trusted position in general in life, okay? And you have insight. And so you feel very protective of people because you know things about them, about their life. And when you hear of like issues they're having, you feel very protective of them. You're very trusted. And with this gracious receptivity, see how the throat chakra here is open. The hands are open. We have the third eye here, very aligned. I feel this is a lot of healing energy. This is like giving freely of your healing energy. I feel like you give freely. You don't expect things back from people. You don't really, and this is what is incredible to me. A lot of you guys don't expect a thank you. You don't even expect people to thank you. And it's not because you're a martyr or because you're woe is me. It's because you truly, really just want to give to people. You want to see people get better. You want to see people have happy lives. You really, really care. And I feel like because of that, I'm getting this energy like it's hard for people to hate you. But there are some people who do with this card right here. Like you have haters. You absolutely do. Because I feel like there are some people who feel like all this like good vibe with the weirdness they feel, just they don't trust it. Like they don't trust this. Too good to be true kind of vibe. So you do have enemies. You do have people that absolutely you cannot trust. Um, and I feel like you have a nose for corruption. Like you can sniff it out. And many times, like you may have been in situations where you knew things that were corrupt were going on, but you couldn't do anything about it. And I feel like that was really hard for you. I feel like sometimes some of you guys have like stomach problems or like an ulcer or something like that, or something with stress. Because I feel like a lot of times when people tell you things, and because I feel like some of you guys are counselors or you're just really good for people. People like talking to you and you're very helpful. I feel Cancer energy here too, like very nurturing, very, very helpful energy. Like you are a very, there's a lot of very beautiful feminine energy here. And it's doesn't matter what gender or anything. This is the energy. Because I'm getting that with this card here. Like very beautiful, incredible, well balanced feminine energy here. I just feel like mother bear energy, like very protective of you and yours. And honestly, really willing to kind of like, you know, do what you need to do. You may be a Leo, okay? You with this Pharaoh card here, there may be Leo energy here as well. Like if we need to, we can go, because I'm not gonna let you like beat beat my friend down kind of thing. Like we have all this high vibe energy, but like don't fuck with the star seed now. Don't fuck with me. Because before I was spiritual, I was a thug. Right? So before I was highly aligned, I was throwing it down. So don't fuck with me. You guys are funny. Okay. We have freedom. Oh my. Get naked and scream. Ah, ah, ah. You're just like, why is the world so restrictive? Like, I feel like there's this energy here, and I felt it earlier in this reading, like there's just a puzzlement as like I do not understand why the world is the way it is. Like I don't fucking understand humanity. Get me off this fucking planet. Parental units. Woo, look at that ass on that Kim. Hug your mom. Your dad's probs an asshole. There's a lot of divine feminine energy here, like a lot. Um, I feel like the hand of the divine feminine may be upon you. You may be aligned with a goddess that is just hold you in very high regard. You may be a channel for the divine feminine. But I feel like no matter what this is, I feel like you're probably a feminist or you hold the feminine in a high regard. Because I feel like if anybody like puts upon your feminine friends, you're just like, oh no, don't fuck with them. Don't fuck with them. Just don't fuck with my femme friends. Cause this right here, bitch. This right here. I may be this, but I'm also this. Yes. Yes. I love this so much. I love this so much because you have enemies and you know it. And you are not a doormat for anyone. No matter how highly aligned you are, you're the rescuer. And sometimes a rescuer has to kick some ass. That's what I'm hearing. Sometimes a buffalo has to stampede. All right? So we can do that if necessary. You're a spiritual gangster. Yeah, you're damn right. Okay, cleanse, keep breathing, and peeing. I feel like people know that you're very giving, you're very, very giving, very nurturing. We covered all that. But I feel like when someone messes you over, first of all, you're not going to put up with that shit. You're a fighter. Okay, so you're going to confront that bitch, all right? And then you're going to cut that bitch off and you're going to cleanse them from your life. You do not put up with noise. You're very giving, you're very kind, and you will fuck with someone if they fucked you over. You will give them chances, and people will be like, oh, they're a pushover. Oh, they're a pushover. No, because when you're done with somebody, they are erased from your universe. You will never ever see them in your world again. They are invisible. So you are one of those people that, when you cut someone off, it is for fucking ever, bitch. I never ever knew you. Depart from me, bitch. I never fucking knew you. That kind of energy, But it's because you give people chances. You are very forgiving. Because you're very giving. You have a lot of Empress energy. Okay. You're very giving. You're very healing. And you're very understanding. You have a very, very high vibe, but also don't fuck with me and don't fuck people in my life over. And if we can keep that copacetic, yeah, we're all good. But you are one that people don't want to tussle with, because I feel like because you have all this high vibe, kind of weird, creative energy, they underestimate you. And sometimes you get taken advantage of. And then they get real surprised when this, weird, creative person who's so giving that they think you're a doormat, the doormat becomes a giant doormat monster and, kind of like devours them out of nowhere. So I feel like you surprise people a lot when they understand that sometimes a rescuer has to kick some ass and rescue themselves. So it's a very powerful energy you have, group 2. All right, guys, that's what I got for you. I hope this was helpful. If it was, please let me know down in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I'd love to have you as a member of my tribe. And if you'd like to see more Auntie Amy's Trashy Tarot, give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you beautiful, magical baddies next time. Bye, guys. Hey, group 3, all of you that selected the tree. This is going to be your reading all about what is your vibe, what vibe do you give off. So keep in mind it's a general reading, so just take what resonates and leave the rest behind. Use your own discernment. Now you got quite a few cards here, but I will be pulling more cards as I need to for clarity. So let's get into it and find out what all is here. All right, let's start with these. We have Shadow. Okay, we'll put that right there. We have King. Oh, okay. We have Fuck You, Buddha. Enlightenment sucks. We have Pissed as a Parrot. Use your own voice. Let's see. We have Influencer. Okay, this next card has some boobies on it, so I can't show it to you. Well, I can, but we have Journey to Wholeness. Okay, I'm going to put that down here. Next card we have are Grays, Utilitarian, Organized, Intimidating. Ooh, I feel that. We have something that I can't say. Resilient, Bold, Sassy. Okay. We have MIB, Stalking, Intimidation, Confrontation. Are you intimidating? I'm starting to think you're intimidating, okay? Syrians, Responsibilities, Lessons, Growing Up. Very responsible. We have Arcturians, Feeling Safe, Wisdom Keepers, Concern. All right. We have Dear Spirit, Bring a Gentle Touch. Okay. And we have Legend. Baby, you're legendary. Okay. All right. Okay, this is a cool vibe. All right, we have King here, Queen energy, royal energy here. And I get a witchy vibe with this card too. Like I'm also getting like an oak tree vibe as well. And I feel like you give off a vibe that can be with King, royalty, intimidation. We have 2 cards here that talk about like intimidation. So I feel like you can be intimidating. People can be very intimidated by you. I feel power here. Like with the king, of course, there's power. So I feel like you have a very powerful kind of aura, a powerful kind of like presence here. There's a lot of masculine vibe here. You just may be very balanced in your masculine energy. But with legend here, I just feel like you have a presence. There is a presence here. That is undeniable. Okay, you have I'm hearing undeniable presence. Okay, people, when you enter a room, people feel your presence. All right. And I feel like with influencer, you do have influence over people. I feel like you have the ability to manipulate people if you choose to. But I feel like with the deer spirit here, like you really don't choose to use it that way. Although you have, you lived and learned, some of you guys. That's just part of, life. I feel like with confrontation, like you don't, part of your intimidating factor is you don't back down from a fight or from something that's wrong. Like you will confront somebody on their bullshit kind of thing. The 8 of Pentacles, zombie. And when I'm reading this intuitively at this point, like I'm feeling like you are hard to put down with the zombie here. Like you're hard to like you have been through so much in your life. You're hard to put down. You're hard to put away. Like if you are going to fight for something, you have staying power. Because like you're an old pro at going against obstacles, at going against the bad guys kind of thing, at going against your villains. Like you know how to do it. You have a lot of lessons here. You've learned. You've grown up. You've grown from bad situations. And I feel like people who know you, who you are friends with, they feel very safe with you. You give people a sense of safety, whether it's family, friends, whatever. Like your vibe is like, if you're in your circle, like you feel very safe, but other people like fear you. You can be very intimidating. Some of you guys are very wise. You're very smart too. Some of you guys are very physically intimidating. Some of you guys like are very like have a physical presence to you. But with the 8 of Pentacles, I just feel like a lot of this intimidation and power that I feel, they may not be connected, the intimidation and power, but they might as well. For some of you, this has to do with the way you look. For some of you guys, it's wisdom. For some of you guys, it's both. Some of you guys are extremely smart as well. I feel like this is something you've worked at because of lessons learned, because of situations you've been through. Wisdom is gained through situations here. And I feel like with the stalking card, like the stalking on this card, I feel like you've had people who become obsessed with you because you're very powerful. And there's a lot of attraction to you. You're very resilient with this card right here, but you also have a personality as well. I do also get that you may have a bad temper or may have had a bad temper because, the zombie is carrying someone's head after all. So let's get into this. We all have light and shadow with our shadow here. Part of your shadow is you may have a bad temper. People may have a reason to fear you with this intimidation. When you are in a competitive job market and things like that, you may be a little bit of a headhunter. You may take people, you compete, you use your ability to manipulate or to maneuver, if you want to use that term, to fill situations. You may be highly empathic. Your spiritual abilities, you may use those to kind of maneuver yourself into powerful positions in your work or even in relationships. That's not all of you, but some of you guys have learned how to use it in powerful ways. With the Page of Wands, the Necromancer. Yeah, I'm feeling that. Give me some more energy. We have the 2 of Wands, Cyclops here. Yeah, I feel like there's been a lot of trial and error for a lot of you just in general in your life. Some of you guys have had some tough lessons here. And I feel like people, it's like a vibe you give off. Like people can tell. Like when you speak, you know your shit. Because you've been through that shit. Some of you guys have been to the hotel. Some of you guys have like, had some, you've been to different kinds of hotels too, and it wasn't the university. I feel like some of you guys, you've had some real struggles here. The 10 of Wands here with Dragon. Like there's been oppression. There's been addiction. There's been mental health struggles. Some of you guys have had to stay some places and do some hard time in places. There may have been health issues here, family issues. I'm getting trauma and things like that. The intimidation that you have may have came from actual trauma you've experienced, right? So I feel like a lot of you guys are legendary because you have risen above all this. And I don't mean that like you've risen above it. It's not like you think you're better than it, because I feel a very grounded person. I feel a very like earthy, humble person. Like you know what you've overcome, but you also know that it was very difficult. And hey, you don't blame anybody who's not able to overcome it, because like, hey, it's by the grace, right, that you were able to do this. So I don't think you judge people. I think people look at you and think you judge people, but you really, really don't. I think you're very generous of spirit. I think you've overcome a lot, and that's what makes you legendary. I think you're a massive healer. I think you help people many times with their shadow. I think you now use your ability. Some of you guys may have been in like some kind of gang or gang-like activity. I feel like a lot of you guys use your ability to influence people for positive, like help people overcome obstacles and things like that. And it could just be in your family. It could be on a larger scale. But you definitely use what you've learned in a positive way. You use your own voice. I feel like some of you guys may actually have narrowly escaped not being here. So there's a lot of tough lessons learned. I feel like a lot of you learned you were your own worst enemy. And I think you have found in life that is the way it is for many people. Because I feel like in this card, I feel like this is you and this is you. This is you casting these spells on yourself, right? And, this could be the spell of addiction. This could be the spell of like continuing those generational behaviors and things like that. And the magician, the necromancer, had to decide to stop doing this. You had to stop this self-destructive behavior. And people see it. They see how you have overcome. They see this. How much you've overcome, this king royal energy here. And I feel like all this healing, all this ability to overcome has made you legendary. And I feel like you've allowed parts of your personality that were suppressed by this heavy energy to come forward. And it feels like it's very fun and very sassy and very happy. And unfortunately, I don't feel like enough people have gotten to see this part of you. And I feel like part of this reading is to tell you, you need to let more people see that side of you, okay? More people need to see the fun, sassy side of you, okay? Because I feel like for a lot of you, it will bring you more opportunity and will bring you more abundance, okay? We know that you're this vibe. This intensity. I mean, look at this tree, how it's grown. And it's all red. How did it grow in all this redness and intensity? But it still grew, right? In all of it. And it grew tall and it grew strong, right? And now, it's time to lighten the energy. It's time for you to be more. If you're already, if you're bold and sassy already, if you're already in this legendary energy, then you know the adjustments you had to make. I feel like some of you guys need to understand that you don't have to be in intensity all the time. And I understand you've had to be there because of the obstacles themselves required you to be intensely focused and intensely committed to overcoming. But now it's time for you to relax a little bit. And I feel like that's hard. That's part of your intimidation factor, is like you're intense. There's this intensity. Yes, you can focus like nobody else. Yes, you have done a journey to wholeness. Yes. But now it's time to like go blow some bubbles. You know, it's time to like go watch some fireworks. It's time to have a little bit of fun. Life is to enjoy, and you deserve some time of enjoyment here. We have contact aliens. Get your butt probed. Ascended masters. Aliens are watching you poop. You guys. Okay, what I'm getting is some of you guys are being overly detail oriented. Okay, I want to use the word anally retentive. Okay, take it as you will. But some of you guys are just, you're being like hung up on details. You're being too obsessive about the details, and it's bogging you down to where you can't really live your life. People see this with you. You may be very logical, you may be very reasonable, which is good. But I feel like some of you guys, y'all need to have fun. These are fun cards. These are the Mood Oracle. And I love this deck because it is so fun. It's just a really fun, happy-go-lucky deck. And it has some of the best messages. And what I'm getting from this is that, like, you need to lighten your energy because people around you, your vibe is so intense sometimes. And people would like to laugh with you. I feel like your family would like to laugh with you. They want more of your fun energy because they know this intensity. They know the drive. They know the ambition. They know the focus. They know what you've overcome. They know what you can do. Okay. But a lot of people, I think, I'm getting for some of you, a lot of people miss the fun you. They miss the lighthearted you. And some of you guys are like, well, it's been really hard to kind of keep that going with, the world's on fire. I get that. But as human beings, we kind of owe it to the testament of life to balance it out and keep life going. It honors the life of all of those who've come before us. And I feel like your spirit guides really want you to know that the people around you really enjoy your energy, and they enjoy your energy when you are happy, when you are, sassy, happy, interactive, and fun. I feel like you take on the weight of the world. I feel a lot of like paternal energy here. I feel a lot of like fatherly vibe, motherly vibe. But I feel like someone who takes on a lot of responsibilities and carries them. And I think you take on responsibilities that don't belong to you. And I feel like that's something that you need to review. That is something that is up for reconsideration. Okay, because that's really not in your best interest anymore. You don't have to take on the weight of the world. It's okay for you to breathe out. It's okay for you to relax. It's okay for you to have faith that all the work you've done is going to lead you on the path where you're going. You know what I'm saying? Like, have faith in your journey. It's brought you here. Now it's okay to relax and have some fun. Okay, it's really important for you guys. I feel like a lot of y'all are highly, highly stressed. As I connect with your energy, I kind of feel a very stressed energy, and nothing is worth your health. All right, so please, please take care of yourself, Group 3. All right, guys, that's what I got for you. I hope this resonated. If it did, please let me know down in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I'd love to have you as a member of my tribe. And if you'd like to see more Auntie Amy's Trashy Tarot, give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you beautiful, magical baddies next time. Bye, guys.